Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Iconology and Temple Architecture Perspectives. In the contest today, we are going to visit Daulatabad or Devagiri Fort, and we are going to observe what are the things which has made it special. As you all know, this was a capital of Yadavas, and then also to certain period that of Mughals. Why they made it? There has to be something special, and what makes it special is a topic of our series on the Daulatabad or the Devagiri Fort. We got multiple lectures on this topic covering different aspects of this fort, or you can say is the fort, and we'll show you why it become impossible to conquer this. Either somebody has given a false information, or some of them has given ways or clues to enter inside. Nobody has ever able to enter this fort, and one of the point which makes it strong are the protecting guns. Now here we'll come to know that when we go to Devagiri, we find almost more than 400 guns today which are displayed, and as it is said, there are a lot more before earlier which are not seen in the present. All of them had a mighty strength and has capacity to attack almost more than 8 kilometers. Now at that time the technology of gun was not available in India, so most of the guns are made by the people who has come from outside. Now here we are going to see multiple guns on which, if there are some monograms, emblems, we'll know whether it was made by the people from Dutch or from Portuguese. As you know, all of them were warriors and they were coming by the sea, so whether they brought these guns by the sea was another thing. Anyway, a largest gun here is called as a Mendha gun, and it is situated in such a nice place which I am going to demonstrate you, that from here it can attack to 8 kilometers, and all this area where the gun is or where the fort is was surrounded by mighty hills, and you can see the enemy going on the top of the hill and catch them. Now the Mughals and Marathas were leading in promoting artilleries. Though most of the technology has come from outside, they have promoted and seen that it will be present in their military also. The Mendha Toph or the ram cannon, originally known as the Kira Shikhan, that is broker of the fort, is placed on an elevated circular platform about 16.3 meters in diameter, located between Chini Mahal and Ranga Mahal. I am going to show you when we will see the actual photographs. In that I will show you this, so also it is available in the videos also which are going to subsequently follow. The cascabel is in the form of ram, and hence the name Mendha Toph gained prominence. In addition, there are 3 other inscriptions here noted on the cannon which tells the origin of it and how it was made. We are going to see in brief the history of it. Now it is in the Daulatabad. Daulatabad is in Maharashtra. The real name of excellent canal according to inscription is Kila Shikhan, that is the broker of the fort. But it is very interesting, though the name was Kila broker, the Toph here was situated in such a way that it can never destroy its own Daulatabad fort. That is, its arch of 180 degrees was never towards a fort, so it was never dangerous to the people or to the army of the fort. Now there are another 2 names to it. The mentioned name is of Aurangzeb and other is that of the maker Muhammad Hussain Amala Arab. He brought the technology, and it is obvious that such a large gun cannon cannot be manufactured somewhere else and kept here. There are two other gigantic cannons in the fort by the name of Durgapur. It is situated on top of the hill or on top of the fort, and the Pahad Toph. Both the things are there, you can have a look at them, but the best, this Mendha Toph, is the place where it was kept, believed to be the second largest cannon in India and installed in 17th century. So some people call it earlier than that, 16th century, but anyway, it's more than 500 years old. The inscription on the muzzle states, with the help of God, victory is near and all believe are in God's protection. The third inscription gives the name Toph Kira Shikhan, that is broker of the fort, while the fourth inscription informed that Muhammad Hussain and his technologist who came with him manufactured the Toph or the cannon in situ, that is at same site it was manufactured. Another inscription, partly covered with a plate on the base, provides the information that one of the weight of the gunpowder and the shot used for the cannon. So it gives you the idea how to use it, how much gunpowder to use, what should be the weight of the gunpowder you are going to fire, because that should be appropriate so that you can achieve the target correctly. The bronze was casted here and the cannon measure 5.3 meters in length. I am going to show you also another cannons of same time from Fort Williams, that I am going to show you in the picture, and that is in England, Great Britain. The caliber of cannon is 20 centimeter, which can easily hurl a heavy shot. A pivot is provided at the cannon in the center of the platform. Why the pivot? The pivot can turn the cannon in the direction you want and in the angle you want, so that enemies can be targeted perfectly. Then a powerful defense system. The formidable defense system that made Daulatabad virtually invisible consists of only the entrance and exit and no parallel gates, a single entrance and exit gate, zigzag lofty gates with iron spikes so that elephant cannot break it, and the way was it right angle to each other, it was not in straight line, so it was not easy to break these barriers. In the era before gunpowder, intoxicated elephants were used to break these huge gates, but often it was happening that because of intoxication, if anything goes wrong, the elephants were killing their own army. So that was a difficult situation where people have to use one or the other choice. The soldiers has to use one or the other choice. The gate were fitted with iron spikes on the outer side of the stop so that elephant cannot break it. Two deep rock cut trenches that is dry and wet, and a glacis. So this is the design of the gates, what made it difficult. Then 3 layers of fortified with a massive walls were there. We are going to see it when we are going to see this structural aspect of this fort in very much in detail, and all the walls are average of 6 to 9 meter. Not only that thickness of wall or the number of wall, the designing of wall was made in such a way so that this cannon can be made best use to fight against the enemies. Now, designing of fort as well as location of fort as well as the designing of cannon and its situation where they keep it are extremely important as far as safeguard of this fort is concerned, and that was excellently maintained here. The Daulatabad fort is an enduring symbol of India's rich historical heritage and architectural brilliance. Perched atop a conical hill in Maharashtra, it is impossible It is imposing structure and strategic location that had fascinated visitors for many centuries. Believe it, it was somewhere built by Yadavas in 10th or 12th centuries, in between 10th and 12th centuries, but except few occasions, nobody could conquer it because it was so difficult to hit or to defeat because of the structure, the hill, the fort, surrounding structures, the defense mechanism had. Now from origin under the Yadava destiny to the conquest by the Alauddin Khilji, that was also not by a simple measure. He bribed the Subedar and found out from which way the food is going. He blocked that, and because of that only he could conquer it. But that was the first time the fort was defeated by the Yadavas to Alauddin Khilji. Then subsequently he changed its location, he changed its structure, he made it more strong, but that thing happened only after Alauddin Khilji took it. Now today it remains as a marvel of craftsmanship with its labyrinthine pathways, that is a curvilinear, sometimes bending in a right angle in such a way you just cannot attack in straight line. Then deceptive gates and towering minarches, because why the minars were developed, that is as a watchtower. They are seeing the enemies from very long distance. Exploring Daulatabad fort reviews, it is not just a journey through the Daulatabad fort history, it is immense experience that transport tourists to a era of bravery and grandeur, whether trekking to its summit or marveling at its intricate movements. Easy, and every step taken within its ancient wall echoes with the echoes of glory and resonates throughout its storied past. So you must visit it, you must spend more time and hear whether you can really get these echoes after appreciating the beauties. Now collection of the cannons, it has got huge collection of cannons. Cannons were invented in Europe in 12th century. I am going to show you a 14th century fort from Great Britain. So around that time it was there in Europe, but India it has taken almost 16th century when the technology was transferred. Within a very short period of time, cannons appeared in China, and in 13th century the Arab were also started using the cannons. So it came with the Mughals, these cannons came to India, and the technology also in India. However, cannons were used effectively for the first time by Babur in the first battle of Panipat in 1526 against Ibrahim Lodi, the last ruler of Delhi Sultanate. Since then, cannons have become an important component in the battles. The earliest cannons were made up of bronze. In the late 16th century, the European introduced iron, that is both wrought and cast cannons in India. So that type of cannons we'll see, but they were of small size, they were not of larger size, because larger guns need to withstand the blast power. At Daulatabad fort you can see collections of bronze as well as iron cannons that ranges from large heavy guns to medium havagers and handguns. So we are going to see it when we will see the film photos and also videos. Then we have got certain guns here which were casted in Amsterdam in 1638 and 1642. That is, we would know it because of the inscriptions over that, and how they must have brought it by the sea. Now some of the guns are kept at their original places, like bastion on the fort wall and circular towers, while the other collected from the various places are displayed in the courtyard near the entrance gate and arm khas gate that we are going to see in our photos. the Mendha gun. Now let's come to this large gun. Mendha gun is the largest piece of artillery in the fort placed near the Chini Mahal. Chini Mahal has got a big history. We are going to see it in this video. Originally for Shah Jahan it was designed to stay for a couple of days, but subsequently it was used as a prison to different prisoners, which was brought by Aurangzeb and other Muslim sultanates. Other noteworthy cannons include Durga cannon and the Kala Pahad cannon. They are on top. Durga are the same, and they were possibly installed by the Marathas when they conquered this fort. This fort was with them for a couple of years. The Mendha cannon placed on top of elevated circular structure because it has to shoot, it has to aim at the surgery at your enemies at a longer distance. So it has to be placed at higher side, and you have to you can visualize them only when you will be seeing them from the height. The name of the cannon is derived from the cascabel, which is in the form of a ram. I'll show you, it is seen still. According to the description, the cannon, it belongs to the Mughal Empire Aurangzeb because his name is carved on that, and because the inscription says like that, and he changed the name of it either as a Kila or as the ram. So both were given by him, or as a Mendha. So these are the names given to same cannon. The biggest cannon on the fort with capacity to hit surrounding hills. This cannon was mounted in such a way that it could rotate it through semicircle. Now important to know what is the semicircle. The semicircle was pointing towards the enemies in the valley. You cannot turn it to the fort side. So it can never be a Kila broker as far as Daulatabad fort is concerned. The mechanism by which it was rotated on the pivot is not seen today. This cannon kept over the bastion located in the front of a moat. It is skillfully mounted on the base so that it can be rotated towards enemies only. On this cannon, name of Emperor Aurangzeb and its name of the artist Muhammad Arab are encarved. There is inscription towards the mouth of this cannon. It is in Farsi, but those who can read it can get it. In addition, there are more cannons, that is Kala Pahad and a Durga cannon. This is the inscription in Arabian language. Now we'll see how to reach a fort. Now this is a zigzag path. It turns at right angles. Every time it takes a right turn, and at certain places you will find two ways, one going to right and one going to left. If you follow the left one, again you will trapped in a way where there is only inlet and no outlet, and your soldiers who are guarding this fort are waiting on the sides to put the stones on you, these enemies, or they can kill them. Now this is the way from here. Now we are going towards a place where it is mounted. As I told you, it is zigzag. In between you will find lot of cannons. Now we have come to the elevated platform. From here you can see all sides there are mountains. There is no way you can come without climbing this mountain. So right from you are getting down the mountain, you are coming in the valley, you are observed from this highly placed platform, and here is these are the different guns while you come towards it. And we have talked about Chini Mahal also, that can be seen from the top of, see how many, each and every place has got guns in it. You can enjoy the types of gun. You can get large guns like that. You can get smaller guns also of different size, and they have served a great purpose at their time. These boards you must read so that you can get good information about the fort as well as the historical aspect. Now can you see there is a staircase? You can go from this staircase which goes towards the hillside, and second you are seeing a large construction, circular. And what is there on that large construction? Let's go and watch and we'll know what is there. Now this is a view from the top you are getting once you climb the steps. Now see the important part. If you want to enter the fort, there is a place in between a fort and where we are standing, that is filled with water that was called as Khandak, and in that water there were crocodiles. So there is only one way. What we can see is the iron bridge. It was earlier with the leather one, which were pulled by the people in the fort at the evening times so that nobody can enter inside. This is also a view we are seeing from all sides of that place where the Mendha Toph is located, because this is going to be important as far as its strategic place is concerned. Look at this, all you can see everywhere. This is the area in which, this is area where the cannon cannot attack. Now looking at this, you can know why it was called as Mendha. Look at how much large it is. There is a pivot, as I told you, which was used to rotate it, but nowadays it is not in proper shape. It cannot be used. Now look at this big gun, big cannon. Now Mendha cannon placed atop on an elevated circular structure and is therefore important strategically. Then inscriptions on it gives us the idea that what was the who was the manufacturer. See, the pivot is also seen on which the gun was cannon mounted. Now we'll see similar of that era, but not Indian. This is from the UK. They have nicely preserved it, and one of the best part of them, they try to create an atmosphere in such a way that they take you in that era. Maybe because of their guides, maybe because of their now this is from Fort William. Fort William is a fort on a small hill, and all this is surrounded by a sea. It is from the Scotland, and if at all enemy has to come, it has to come from the sea. So look at the designing in the way it is done. The comparison is, we had earlier for Mendha Toph, it was the ground, and here it is the sea. The ideology, war techniques were designed in such a way that your artillery will support you. Now look at the guns on all corners. They are heavily loaded with guns. They have, just to have an idea what was used. Now two things can be used here. We can use iron balls or we can use stones also. For Mendha, it is said that they were using stones also. The difference is, this iron ball will not break, but when the stone will be fired by the cannon, it will get broken into the pieces and it will cause more damage at extensive ways. Now this, whatever they are written here also is, I liked, and people follow it. It is really great. They have given the history of it, then what was a war technique, and I really appreciate in which they have created an atmosphere in such a way that you will appreciate what was the war tactics. This is the largest cannon over there. Now they have got a small show also here. They have got a small gun which they fire just for the entertainment of tourists, but that gives a good attraction to the tourists and know them how a technology of gun was. Look at this, how it is maintained. It's absolutely marvelous, fantastic, and it gives you a good idea what was the technology, how it should be placed. It should be placed on the highest point from where you can observe the enemy, and most of the enemy should come in the hitting area of this gun. So this was from the Scotland fort and earlier was the Indian fort. You can compare them. And with that, we are coming to end of this lecture. I hope you have enjoyed and gained certain knowledge and some war techniques which were used in earlier days. If you like the lecture, give us a like. If you feel you should hear more and more lecture like this, then subscribe us. Thank you, goodbye and take care. See you in next video, very sure, very early. Goodbye, good luck.